Welcome to Learn Mexican Spanish with Diego, episode number 2. My name is Diego Prado and I'm very happy to be with you today. Bienvenidos a Learn Mexican Spanish con Diego en el episodio número 2. Mi nombre es Diego Prado y estoy muy contento de estar aquí con todos ustedes. Before we start, why don't we just quickly review what we saw in our last chapter? Para empezar, ¿por qué no repasamos lo que vimos en el episodio número 1? I will tell you some expressions in Spanish and I will give you some time to answer. Te voy a decir entonces la frase en español y te daré entonces un poco de tiempo para que me respondas. ¿Estás listo? Are you ready? Muy bien, vamos entonces a comenzar. Okay, why don't we start? How do you say in Spanish? Good morning. Exactly. Buenos días. Can you try it one more time? Buenos días. Excellent. Let's go with the next one. Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. And let's check the next one. Good night. Haha, that's right. Buenas noches. Excelente. Muy bien. Excellent, very good. Now let's see if you remember these other expressions. Veamos entonces si se acuerdan de las siguientes expresiones. I will ask you some questions and let's see how you answer them. Te voy a hacer algunas preguntas y veamos cómo las respondes. The first question. ¿De dónde eres? ¿De dónde eres? Okay. Very good. I hope your answer contains something like soy de and the country you're from, like soy de Estados Unidos or soy de Chile. Very good. Now the next question. ¿De dónde es? ¿De dónde es? Excellent, very good. I hope your answer also contained the elements soy, which means I am, de, which means from, and then the country you're from, like soy de Canadá or soy de Australia. Muy bien. Do you guys remember the differences between eres and es? If you don't, I invite you to check episode number 1. ¿Se acuerdan de las expresiones entonces de eres y es? Si no recuerdan bien, yo los invito a que revisemos el episodio número 1. Excelente, hemos terminado con el repaso. ¿Por qué no entonces empezamos la lección? Very good. So we basically finished with our review. Why don't we go straight to the lesson? Today we'll be learning something very basic, which are the pronouns. Hoy vamos entonces a aprender algo muy básico que son los pronombres personales. So I will tell you the personal pronoun and I will ask you please to repeat it after me. After that, I will tell you the equivalent in Spanish and I will tell you some other things that are important to know because we are learning a very particular fact about the Spanish that we also omit them sometimes and it can be a little bit confusing. So why don't we start? And the first one, yo. Can you try it? Yo. Yo. It sounds like yo. This j sound. Do you know what it means? Right, it means I. Let's go with the next one. Tú. Tú. Try it one more time. Tú. This one means you, but in singular. Let's go with the next one. The next one is él. 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 It means he. That's right. Let's move on. The next one is ella. Let me try one more time. Ella. Ella. This one is a little bit weird, can be a little bit difficult. Ella. Say it again. Ella. This one means she. Let's go with the next one. Eso or esa. Try it. Eso or esa. Let me do it first. Masculine. Eso. Try it. Eso. Feminine. Esa. Esa. Very good. This one literally means it. Very good. Why don't we continue with the next one? Now we have usted. Try it. Usted. Very good. This one means you, singular, but the formal form. One more time. Usted. Excellent. The next pronoun. It also has masculine and feminine. So let's go with the masculine. Can you try it? Ellos. Ellos. Now let's go with the feminine. Ellas. Ellas. Let's try one more time. It can be a little bit difficult. Ellos. Ellas. Ellos. Ellas, which means they in English. Let's go with one more pronoun, which is nosotros, masculine. Nosotros. And now let's go with the feminine. Nosotras. Nosotras. This pronoun means we. Okay, very good. Why don't we try the pronouns one more time? Now we're only going to try them in Spanish, okay? So I invite you to repeat them after me one more time. Yo. Yo. Tú. Tú. Él. Él. Ella. Ella. Eso. Esa. Usted. Usted. Ustedes. Ustedes. Ellos. Ellos. Ellas. Ellas. Nosotros. Nosotros. Nosotras. Nosotras. If you notice here, I mentioned 3 times the pronoun you. Just to make it clear, we have you, which is the singular form of you, like in English. Now we have you, which is the formal way, as I told you in the last chapter, is usted, which is normally used for the formal way of addressing people. And also we have you, which is you in English, like that one, I'm sorry, but it's ustedes and it's the plural form of you, and we use it like in English. Exactly. Now I want you to see this because it's very important. It can be a little bit confusing sometimes, so I'm going to be telling you some examples in Spanish, and then I will tell you the ones in English, and then let's see how we use them. Okay, so let's see these examples. Listen to this. Tú estás feliz. Tú estás feliz. You are happy. Tú estás feliz. Tú, which is used in this sentence, is referring to what? Well, this one could be interpreted like you if you're talking right in front to one just single person, or to a couple of people in front of you. So it's more the context that will let you know whether it's just one person or more. Let's go with the second example. Estás revisando la tarea, ¿verdad, profe? This is very common. Estás revisando la tarea, ¿verdad, profe? You are checking homework, right, teacher? You are checking homework, right? here, if you notice, we didn't even need to mention the word tú or usted in this case. It's because we're talking to a teacher. Now, this example also shows this is you in the formal way, but actually, this is also another form that we need to discuss in another chapter, because the fact is that we are omitting the pronoun. Listen to the example one more time. Estás revisando la tarea, ¿verdad, profe? Or you can actually say it like, está revisando la tarea, ¿verdad, profe? Very good. And now, remember, sometimes we have the usted form. And the usted form could be, let's use the last example. For example, we say, usted está revisando la tarea, ¿verdad, profe? Remember, this second you means usted in English, and it is usted because you are showing respect for the person. Remember, you can either be talking to an elderly person or a person who is more important than you are. In the way, not like that, I'm sorry if it sounded bad in English, but it's just like a person who has more authority. Okay, it could be a boss, it can be your a president, whoever you're talking to that has more authority than you do. Okay, the use of this is very common, and many people use it to refer to people that they don't know. So if you don't know someone, it's very common if you use usted, if it's someone that is older than you or someone who has more authority. For example, when you're in the airport and then you're addressing to a policeman, it's better to use this form too. This fact shows respect, and it is very polite and is very commonly used. Why don't we move on? Let's check the last you. Let me tell you the example, okay? Ustedes están viendo el juego. Ustedes están viendo el juego. You are watching the game. You are watching the game. If you notice here, you is taking the plural form, which literally means ustedes. And this is referring then to the plural form as normally used in English. I know this can be a little bit tricky, and I hope it's clear for you. But if you have any questions about the exact use of these, you can send me a message or you can leave a comment. If you are using any of the platforms online, then you just leave a comment and I'll make sure to reply to you as soon as possible. So, now let's go and see the pronoun they. As I said before, it has the masculine and the feminine form depending on the word that is used after it. Ahora veamos lo que es el pronombre they. Como les mencioné, este tiene masculino y femenino, incluso el pronombre it. Incluso puede ser utilizado de una manera diferente dependiendo de la palabra. Okay? Let's listen to the following examples. Ellas son amigas. Why don't you try it? Ellas son amigas. They are friends. Ellas son amigas. Ellos son amigos. They are friends. Ellos son amigos. They are friends. In English, this expression would just have been the same for both of these interpretations in Spanish, because we just say they are friends. And we just know whether we're talking to men, the context will tell you whether it's masculine or feminine. In Spanish, we have something very similar, but in the way that you need to identify the word that you're going to use. And this is something that will help you to determine whether this phrase is masculine or feminine. For example, listen to this. Check the word amigo. Amigo. So amigo is a word that ends with the letter O. And that is, the O is the generally masculine way of naming things or making them masculine, literally. Mostly O's. Then, for example, then we say tío, amigo, or primo. All of them have the O, and they are masculine. Now listen to the same word, but now the feminine. We have amiga, amiga. The word amiga ends with a, and it's literally the generally feminine way of naming things in Spanish. So just quickly review. Remember, mostly the words that end with O are masculine, and the words that end with a, I would say, are feminine. Okay, for example, if I say bolsa, can you try it? Bolsa. Bolsa literally means bag. And a bolsa, the a at the end is telling you that that word is feminine. Or for example, patio. Patio. Patio is a word that ends with O, and then it means masculine. And this one means patio. Okay. Why don't we just try a few other words and then you tell me whether they're masculine or feminine, because this can be a little bit tricky as you learn Spanish. And also we have lots of exceptions. Okay. ¿Por qué no entonces intentamos algunas de estas palabras y me dicen ustedes si son masculinas o femeninas? Are you ready? ¿Estás listo? Okay, let's start. The word is tío. Masculine or feminine? Tío. Exactly. It's masculine. Let's go with the next one. Well, first, do you know what it means? It means uncle. Tío. Very good. Let's go with the next one. Tía. Tía. You are so right. It is feminine. And it means aunt. Very good. Why don't we try the next one? Jefe. Jefe. This letter doesn't end with O. But now we have jefa. Jefa. So, did you hear? Jefe, jefa. Now, if the second word is jefa, then it's feminine, right? So jefe is masculine. That's totally right. These two words mean boss. Like, oh, he's my boss. Él es mi jefe. Excellent. We'll see a little bit more of these later today. Well, not today, but in the next episode. So, excellent. Something that you need to remember too is, as we were talking about the way we use they and we, you need to put the plural form. So, how do we make the plural form? You just include an S to the word. Why don't we go to those examples back again? If I say tío and you just need to include the S, how would that word sound? Tíos. And it's just the plural form of uncles. Or tías. Now you have multiple bosses. Then we say jefes, if they're all men, jefes, or jefas, if they're all ladies. Excellent. Very good. This lesson could be a little bit hard, but I hope that you can actually get all the points. Well, you can always listen to this back again, or as I said, you can send me a question in any of the platforms that you are listening this podcast in, and then of course I will be pleased to answer your questions in English or in Spanish, whatever you want. Okay, now I'm gonna give you some cultural tips, and we'll give you the cultural tip of the day. And there is something with the connection connected with the words jefe and jefa that makes them very particular in Mexico. Do you remember what they mean? Jefe and jefa? That's right, boss. Either man or a woman, right? Okay, you can sometimes hear people calling their parents literally as jefes. Can you try it? Jefes. This one is parents in a very colloquial way. So people can go like, déjame saludo a mis jefes. O mira a mi jefecita, a mi jefa. Like, let me say hello to my parents. Try this phrase. It can be very funny. You can impress your Spanish friends. Déjame saludo a mis jefes. Déjame saludo a mis jefes. This one means, literally, let me say hi to my parents. Déjame saludo a mis jefes. Or mira a mi jefecita. Look at my mom. Mira a mi jefecita. If you ever, like, I don't know, you have a friend of yours and you want to say, say hi to your parents, you can say, salúdame a tus jefes. Try it. Salúdame a tus jefes. They will totally be impressed about this, and then they will think that you were here in Mexico learning this. So this is something that you can actually come across anytime. So when you're in Mexico, it will be very common to see that people could address that, use their parents, use the terms like jefe and jefes to talk about them. Very good, excellent. So just before we wrap up the session of the day, why don't we just quickly review this lesson, the expressions, okay? Antes de terminar la lección, entonces vamos a revisar las expresiones que aprendimos hoy. I will tell you the pronouns in English and you will tell me the equivalent in Spanish. Are you ready? ¿Estás listo? Okay, so the first one. I. Very good. The answer was yo. Try it one more time. Yo. The next one. You. Exactly. It means tú in the singular form. Next one. He. Exactly. You're so right. The answer is él. Next one. She. Very good. Ella. Ella. Let's go with the next one. It. Eso or esa. That's right. I'm sorry I didn't give you that much time. Let's go with the next one. You. You. I hope you said usted, which is the singular form in the formal way of addressing a person. Let's go with the next one. You. Exactly. Ustedes. And let's go with the last two. They. Ellos, masculine. Ellas, feminine. And the last one. We. We. That's right. Nosotros, masculine. Nosotras, feminine. Very good. Let me just give you a quick recommendation. Try to practice all these pronouns and try to see the differences. This will be very helpful for you, especially for the next lesson, because we're going to be learning how to conjugate the verb to be, and we will also learn how pronouns can be omitted. Pronouns can be omitted as well in sentences, either written or in spoken Spanish, and it's going to be very interesting and a little bit complicated, but we're going to work it out. Excelente. Hemos acabado entonces nuestra lección del día de hoy y solamente les voy a dar la recomendación de que practiquen todos los pronombres que hemos aprendido y veamos la diferencia. Recuerden que el aprender y recordar todos estos pronombres nos van a ayudar para la siguiente lección, porque vamos a ver cómo conjugar el verbo ser o estar. En esta lección también incluso aprenderemos cómo se omiten ciertos pronombres, por lo que puede ser un poquito complicado. So, remember, this podcast is for you. So all your suggestions, comments, or recommendations are always welcomed. So please, if you're listening to me in any platform, make sure to subscribe and then follow my alerts. It was a pleasure to have spent my time with you learning a little bit of Spanish from Mexico. Es un placer haber estado con ustedes aprendiendo español de México. Espero que este episodio haya sido muy útil para ustedes. See you until the next episode, ¿ok? Nos vemos entonces en el siguiente episodio. Bye bye.